Morning, people. It is Thursday, the 22nd of May. Welcome to TDA, the day after, your favourite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by the culture. I am one of your hosts for today, Martin Royalty.
And they call me E-Man, the pro-black activist, TDA producer and news analyst, melanin jam-packed.
Absolutely, and Brent is here as well.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, chat. Thank you for turning up this morning. Hello, Eddie. Hello, Nine Ether. Eddie, remember what I told you yesterday. Good morning, Miss Prestige, Davina, TT. Who else we got? DCF Mooks, Emi Snow Globe, Ed, Mr. Ashlows, Bex, Paul Wild, Christy, Mother Booth, Energy, I think I said, and is it. Thanks. And shout out to Star Crow. I don't know if it is at your head just yet, but shout out to your win yesterday. Your fantastic result against United. All right.
Wonderful.
Let's get into the headlines. Thank you very much.
Let's do it.
Unless you have clips to play.
No, I got 2 clips for the headlines. So,
Right.
no. All right, people. First headline. The UK government is calling for Israel to launch an investigation after the country's troops fired warning shots while British diplomats were travelling through the West Bank. Diplomats from Ireland, France, Germany and Turkey were also travelling with the delegation in the city of Jenin when the gunshots rang out on Wednesday. All 4 countries have condemned the shooting, which comes after Western nations criticised Israel's latest offensive in Gaza. 2 British diplomats are understood to be among the group of around 20 people who have been confirmed, as safe following the incident in the Israeli-occupied West Bank. Footage shows the moment members of the delegation were gathered outside before fleeing the scene as the gunshots rang out. Next headline, Sir Keir Starmer has announced plans to ease cuts to winter fuel payments in a U-turn following mounting political pressure in recent weeks. More than 10 million pensioners lost out on the payments, worth up to £300 when the pension top-up became means-tested last year. Speaking at Prime Minister's questions, Sir Keir said ministers will change the threshold to allow for more pensioners to qualify again. But it remains unclear how many will regain their entitlement for the payments or when the changes will take effect. Sir Keir Starmer also said that the policy will be changed at the autumn budget, adding that ministers would only make decisions that we can afford. And our next headline, trigger warning on this one, guys. Trigger warning. This is something that happened, I believe, a few hours ago. And obviously, there's a lot of news reporters talking about it. Some sad news that happened in Washington, where 2 Israeli embassy staff have been shot dead outside of a Jewish museum in downtown Washington, D.C. The man and woman were a couple and were killed while leaving an event focused on helping Gazans at the Capitol Jewish Museum. This is what the event organizers were basically telling the reporters at the scene. Israel's ambassador to the US, Yechiel Letter, said that they were about to be engaged and that the man had purchased a ring this week. The suspect has been detained and identified by police as 30-year-old Elias Rodriguez. Police said that he shouted "Free Palestine" after being taken into custody, and officers will look into ties to potential terrorism. US President Donald Trump said that the attack is so sad and based, obviously, on anti-Semitism, while Israeli PM Netanyahu said security will be increased for Israeli representatives and at diplomatic missions worldwide. But did you hear about that?
That is unfortunate. Wait a minute. So
Yeah.
the 2 people that got shot
Yes.
were pro-Palestine supporters
Yeah, yes.
about to get married,
Mm-hmm.
and it was outside of the Israeli embassy
This is it. Well, no, Israeli museum.
museum.
Yeah. Yep.
Rodriguez.
Mm-hmm. Elias Rodriguez, 30-year-old. Yeah, man. It just doesn't look good, man. And remember yesterday we were talking about David Lammy and a few other people, notable people, I guess, in their countries coming together, talking about how we can get peace and all this sort of stuff, and talking about potentially a Palestinian state and all this stuff. And then the next day, this happens. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Really don't know what's going on. But obviously, guys, be safe out there. You know what I mean? Keep your eyes open. And that's pretty much it for our first set of headlines.
Oh, man.
Are we getting to what you're saying?
Yeah, that's good.
You know, you could say it after you finish talking.
Yeah, I know.
Word,
but, I'm
honestly.
so used to.
God damn it.
All right, people. So a couple of things happened, yesterday, I believe, 21st of May, at the Oval Office in America. Obviously, you guys remember what happened with Zelensky, innit? With Donald Trump, Zelensky, and J.D. Vance. Well, a somewhat similar thing occurred yesterday. But this wasn't with Zelensky. This happened with Cyril Ramaphosa, who is the president of South Africa. There's a clip that I want you to play, Brent. It is in the doc that I need everyone to see.
The caption says, Trump clashes with South African president in the Oval Office.
Yes.
Articles over the last few days. Death of people. Death. Horrible death. Death. I don't know. To pick anyone. White South Africans are fleeing because of the violence and racist laws. And this is all, I mean, I'll give these to you. So when you say, what would I like to do? I don't know what to do. Look at this. White South African couples say that they were attacked violently.
President Trump, when will you go and see for yourself if it isn't?
Well, I could do that. Look, here's burial sites all over the place. These are all white farmers that are being buried. And he asks about a jet that was given. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You know, you are so bad. You're such a bad reporter. These are articles over the last.
There's a second clip I put in there as well. So obviously you guys are getting the gist of what's happening.
Yo, boy. Yo, boy. The businessman.
That's right.
Yep.
Turn the lights down and just put this on. It's right behind you. These are burial sites right here. Burial sites. Over 1,000 of white farmers. And those cars are lined up to pay love on a Sunday morning. Each one of those white things you see is a cross. And there's approximately 1,000 of them. They're all white farmers, the family of white farmers. And those cars aren't driving, they're stopped there to pay respects to their family member who was killed. And it's a terrible sight. I've never seen anything like it.
They told you where that is, Mr. President? No, I'd like to know where that is, because this I've never seen.
Death of people. Death.
What you saw, the speeches that were being made, one, that is not government policy. We have a multi-party democracy in South Africa that allows people to express themselves, political parties to adhere to various policies, and in many cases, or in some cases, those policies do not go along with government policy.
But you do allow them to take land.
No.
You do allow them to take land.
Nobody can
and then
take
when
land.
they take the land, they kill the white farmer. And when they kill the white farmer, nothing happens to them.
No.
People are fleeing South Africa for their own safety. Their land is being confiscated, and in many cases they're being killed. And that scene of, you see how many crosses they have. Those crosses, that's a dead person in every one of them.
All right, guys. So you've seen the clip. And I guess there's not much really to say. I'm just going to read out pretty much some of the headlines to do with this, and obviously we can get into it briefly. Let me just give a trigger warning to everybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to try my best to be
Did he do this
well
when
behaved.
Netanyahu came to visit?
No, of course not.
All right.
No, absolutely not. But yeah, essentially what's happened is over the last, I believe it was last week or so, we were obviously speaking about how some of these Afrikaners, 50 something I believe, were basically given right to stay in America, innit? Because apparently, there's a potential white genocide that's occurring, and they needed to be safe. So this is basically what that stems from, innit? So during this meeting, which was intended to discuss trade and diplomatic relations, Trump basically confronted Cyril Ramaphosa, as you guys can see, with claims of white genocide. He told him to dim the lights, play the clip of Julius Malema and the EFF talking about, kill the boy, which was one of their chants during the anti-apartheid period. And basically he was trying to say all of these things support the white genocide idea. Do you remember on the show, Brent, I mentioned, I believe it was like 2 weeks ago, probably 2 weeks to a month, I mentioned about that Jordan Peterson podcast episode?
Yep.
Yes, this is the same nonsense basically that's feeding into that. That was another guy by the name of Dr. Reutz, I believe. He came on there to spread that narrative. So I'm not surprised that this occurred. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we heard about Elon Musk talking and his influence on Donald Trump and the whole USAID being threatened to stop. Anyway, so this is what the situation is. So, also another trigger warning, and I should have put this in the Discord as well. I wanted our South African family to call up so I can get their thoughts on this potential situation. But I don't know, looking at this particular clip here, what do you guys think about this? Especially when you think about Zelensky, what happened with Zelensky. What do you think? What's your thoughts?
When you say what happened with Zelensky, you mean when he
was ambushed? Yeah.
Well, my thoughts are that he didn't have the same energy with Netanyahu. And I would like to know what you think about this when you see this. Do you feel any different about Trump?
Oh, absolutely not. What's it? Why?
Oh, you haven't changed your mind about Trump.
Why would this change my mind?
I don't know. I think that a normal person would now have less love for Trump. Now that they've seen this, but I guess not.
Well, that's somebody else, isn't it? I don't care. I've never come and said I have love for Trump. Never said that.
All right, cool.
I said that I believe Trump's policies are better than the alternative for black people. That's what I've said.
So what do you think about this clip?
I think obviously
clips that you've seen.
I think it's obviously bad what he did. Just like how I said it's bad what he did to Zelensky. This is not the forum for this sort of discussion. You know what I'm saying? And obviously he did this intentionally to make a point, send a message to the rest of the world, and obviously to South Africa as well. You know what I'm saying? But I think Trump has same sort of energy for everybody. If somebody crosses him or does something that's he doesn't necessarily approve of, I think he'd be the first one to stand up and say something.
So
hence him doing this to Zelensky.
Netanyahu?
No, because they're boys, isn't it? To some degree. And again, he supports Israel. Why would he do this to somebody he supports?
Oh, I thought you said he would do it to anybody.
Yeah, that doesn't agree with him. That's not on the same side as him. This isn't black specific. He did the same thing to Zelensky. Do you know what I'm saying? Like all of these things are things that I think everybody who's been watching the news or know about Trump knows he's capable of. Especially when you saw the Zelensky thing. This doesn't change anything. This to me just makes it clear that black Africans need to be self-sufficient and draw the line in the sand and stop being reliant on the West.
Do you see it as the same thing as he did to Zelensky though?
This is around the same thing. I don't.
Do you think this has a racial component embedded in it?
Yeah, of course.
Is that the same thing as Zelensky?
Zelensky's a white man, isn't it? So it won't be the same in that regard. But I think the overall gist of it, to me, it doesn't make a difference. I don't expect the West or any white leaders of America or European countries to see us in any other way. I'm not one of those who's confused by these things. I don't think we have friends in the West. I'm not one of those black people.
But this is a very specifically charged exchange, right? Because as you said, Elon Musk started what he was saying some time ago, and this is a carry on from this. And this is also carry on from what Trump has been saying he's looking to do over there in South Africa anyway, right? It's on the same theme.
In terms of what? Stopping USAID?
Nah.
What are you talking about?
But why was he looking to stop at USAID? What's that? What's the USAID?
It's the aid.
Oh, so
given to-
USAID.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, what was he saying? Why was he looking to stop the aid?
Because of this so-called white genocide.
That's why I said it's connected. It's the same thing. It's a carry-on. That's why I just
Okay.
said.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's just keeping the same energy
Mm-hmm.
as he's done when he started buddying up with Elon Musk.
Mm.
So how does this make you feel?
It makes me feel as though
What do you want to do to Trump?
nothing.
What do you want done to Trump?
What do I what? Sorry.
What do you want to happen to Trump?
Nothing. Whatever. I don't think of in that sort of way, man. I just see it as black people fix up and recognize the people that you thought were friends are not your friends. I've been saying
Also,
this for
you are
5 years.
focusing on the racial element now.
It's always going to have that sort of component. You know
No,
what I'm saying?
when you say that it's the same as Zelensky is
In that he has no regard. I don't think he's that discriminatory to the rest of the world. I think if you're not on board with his agenda, he would embarrass you or he will say disparaging things about you. He will do whatever. He's done it to white people. He's done it to black people, to Asian people. I don't think Trump cares like that.
Yeah, but
You know
I
what
just
I'm
asked
saying?
you what do you think of this and what your answer feeling, and you like so black people just look at what Trump is doing and say that Trump is not out for you, not your friend. He's not on your side.
Mm.
All right, cool. So can we keep the same energy going forward now? We've now ascertained that Trump is not on our side. Trump is not a good man, especially for black people. Is that correct?
What do you mean with now?
No, it's just me. I want to understand.
Did you just realize that? Oh,
Me.
yeah.
Sometimes I get mixed messages on this platform
From who?
from different people.
Well, not from me. I've made it very clear. I've made it very
Well, I
clear.
don't know what I'm talking about. It must be Esther telling me that she likes Trump.
It must be.
I don't know why people getting my message misconstrued. I'll be
Don't
saying
worry,
it from
I'm
day
sure
dot.
that 99% of the people that are listening
Yeah.
agree with you that you have always kept it a buck and you've kept it consistent with us. You telling us that Trump is a bad guy for black people. You've never said that Trump does better for black people than Kamala.
Of course, I've said that.
All right, cool.
But
Is
what
it-
does that
do you
mean? Does that mean
do you
he's
think
good for black
Kamala will
people?
come out?
I think they're both
Let me know if
bad
you
for
go on
black
this
people.
avenue because people start saying I'm advocating for Kamala. I'm not. So let me look to confuse people. So this is nasty work, very nasty work, right? Do you think other countries should come out and basically speak against this type of nasty work?
I think other African countries should.
All right, who should start? Which country?
Which country?
Yeah.
So I don't think it matters who should start.
Anyone.
Any African country. You know what I'm saying? But the only ones I guess I kind of have confidence in is Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, Senegal. You know what I'm saying? Like those are the only countries that really seem to want to divorce themselves from the union with the West. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not. I've said this many times, man. I've only ever said that I'm not red, I'm not blue, I'm black, man. You know what I'm saying?
Is it?
So-
Do we check to see if it is these this memorial like car march was accurate? Because is it the prime minister, president?
Well, the president
seems
doesn't
to
know,
be-
so we don't know yet because I don't believe in that clip or any of the in that interaction that Trump told the whereabouts of this particular thing. You know what I'm saying? So I've not heard, but obviously the president said, "Let me know where this is," etc., etc., etc. And also we have to obviously point out that obviously that could be lies. We've seen Donald Trump say certain things that have not been true, so we know this already, right? But on top of that, I think one of the main things that we need to speak about is the so-called white genocide narrative. It's absolutely bogus. You know what I'm saying? Do white farmers die at the hands of criminals? Of course. Even the president said that too. But the same criminals who attack farmers attack far more black farmers than the white farmers. This is not a specific racial attack. This is an attack on people who own land, you know what I'm saying? And they want to take certain things. So there's far more black farmers who have been killed and been, you know what I mean? Treated badly, violently, I should say, by criminals in South Africa. This is not a white-only thing at all. But I guess Trump and Elon Musk want them to address those particular things because it deals with people that they relate to. You know what I mean? So, you know, it is what it is.
Maggie says maybe when Trump calls the NOI a terror group, Brother Eman will be able to shine his eye and see.
See what? I don't understand. Like, call up and talk, man, so that we can understand. You know what I'm saying? Because again, either people are not listening properly.
Don't worry.
Or-
You got to repeat it. I hear you.
No, it's not you that said it, though, isn't it? So I'm talking to the people that obviously can't hear.
Obviously, she too is misguided when it is that she
for some reason.
remembering these particular things. Just like me.
Yeah.
But don't worry, it's the exception, not the rule. Don't worry. All right, so what is he going to do next, Emmanuel?
Who, Trump? Or
Yeah.
Okay.
What is he going to do? Because obviously he's starting on votes. So if it is that he's now pushing that he believes that South Africa, why are there so many people putting down thumbs on this video?
Oh, serious?
I've just seen bare Oh my gosh.
Maybe they want to put the thumbs down specifically for me, innit?
Nah. Maybe it's me getting on to you about what you've been always saying. That
I doubt that.
Trump is not your friend.
I doubt that. Or maybe that's respectfully our South African brethren.
What,
you know, back
basically
home.
saying that they don't like the fact that it is that Trump is being maligned?
I think they don't like the fact that, I mean, I don't know, I'm just speaking from past experience, innit? They don't like when I specifically talk about certain things in South Africa, because obviously I don't know the politics, I guess, back home. You know what I'm saying? So maybe they feel as though I may be stoking something up. I don't know. But yeah, man. Mr. The Man from Uncle, he says, pro-black E-man suddenly becomes timid and says it is what it is when it comes to Trump. This is absolutely diabolical.
Don't take the bait. Obviously, it's a few people. It's not the majority. Like I said, the majority believe what you've been saying.
It's not me taking the bait.
You are not a fan of Trump. You've never been pushing Trump as like a pro for black people. Just forget it.
No,
dust
Brent,
it off. Just show the rules. Dust it off.
But this doesn't affect me.
Then let's keep it moving.
All it is me basically seeing a lie, right? And pointing it out. That's it. Because you know, I think sometimes, not all the time, sometimes it's important to do so. You know what I'm saying? But if anybody was listening and listening properly, they would recognize that I've always said Africans and black people, we have no friends in the West, man. But obviously you guys are the integrationists of the world who want to be friends. So you're upset when I tell you that this person and this person are all the same because their friends are being lumped in the same thingy. So they have issues with this. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, is what it is, man.
Are there actually white people being killed in South Africa and being chased out their homes?
Yes. Some farmers, yeah.
As in killed?
Yeah.
So the
1,000... The what?
grave, like, car march that we just saw just now.
I don't know anything about that in terms of that being true. This is why the president said, where is this? You know what I'm saying? Because for all we know, this could be made up. You know what I'm saying? It just could be made up. Who knows? But in terms of white farmers being killed on their land, of course, that has happened. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately. But I think the point is people don't hear the entire narrative, which is that more black farmers in the same years are being killed than these white farmers. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's not a racial targeted attack. It's just an attack on those who have, you know what I'm saying? And they want to, I guess, rob them. You know what I'm saying?
Is there land reform currently?
I think it's hard for me to answer. The reason why I say that is because they've said there's been land reform since 94.
I hear you, but specifically during this particular period.
I'm not too sure about South Africa. There's 100% in Zimbabwe and stuff. And I think that sort of narrative is trickling down and has always pretty much been there, innit?
Yeah.
But in terms of an active thing occurring where the government's taking this from this and paying these people and trying to I don't think that's happening. Not in the way it should, anyway. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I said the same narrative has been pushed since 1994.
It says here that there are farm attacks, but it affects all races.
Exactly.
And it's more so a criminal element as opposed to political.
Exactly. Almost I said that verbatim.
And there's no evidence of white genocide. But yet he's stalking it.
100%. But it's not just him, though, Brent. It's not just him. And this is why, again, I mentioned...
Who else?
It's white people white Afrikaners in prominent positions. This is why I mentioned the podcast about a month ago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He's not. You're talking about Jordan Peterson.
Jordan Peterson and other, I guess, so-called professionals, like that doctor who's got a new book out. I believe his book's called Kill the Boar.
Hold up. I've just gotten an email.
Okay.
from Spencer Curtis or Curtis, how we explain him. Yeah, the title is White Farm Murders on the Huge Scale. Body of the email says, nowhere in the world are white farm murders on the huge scale as it is in South Africa. That is the comparison, and that is why it is being likened to genocide. It is unlike somewhere else in the world. Take care, Spencer. Spencer, can you jump on Discord and let's have a conversation, please?
The reason why it's like that is because so many white people have farms in South Africa.
So that is where the
that shouldn't have it.
farms are coming from.
But probably, maybe.
Can we have any pro white South African farmers come on and give us some information from your point of view, please? Jump on Discord. Discord is open. Spencer Curtis, please. I know you can hear me because you just sent me an email. Can you jump on? Can you?
You got to give him a second. But yes, he's going to jump on, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully, you know what I'm saying? Also...
You won't be attacked?
No, not at all. We don't attack people here. We don't attack people here at all. But just wanted to read out, and this is obviously... I think this is a bit updated. I'm not too sure. I can't remember when I went on that rant about South Africa anyway. But this is one of the reasons why I got upset them times there. Because of this very thing, right? White South African people account for 8% of the population. 8%, bro. Yeah? As of 2023, whites owned 72% of agricultural land. And 70 to 80% of private wealth. While black South African people, right, who are indigenous to the land, who make up 80% of the population, own only 4% of agricultural land and less than 10% of private wealth. All they want to do is hold on to that. That's all it is. So they're using various tactics, you know what I'm saying, to...
Spencer, can you come and address this, please? Because what man just said sounds a bit lopsided.
I mean, well, the facts are out there. People can obviously...
Lance says, don't lie, you will be attacked.
No, you won't
You're going to be attacked by me.
I don't think I've attacked anybody anyway.
He's not talking to you. Why do you always think people typing negative stuff as they're talking to you?
No, because when have you attacked somebody? So I'm assuming it's me, innit?
I've attacked people before.
Huh?
I've attacked people, quote unquote, attacked people before.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't recall. Maybe my threshold for attacking is...
There we go. It's the sensibilities, man. Come on.
Trying, Brent. What's the thing you were saying? Mentality. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be a new man and whatnot. You know what I mean?
You reset every week.
Hey, I must try, man.
Every week, every day.
That's repentance, right?
Sometimes by the segment. Sometimes by the segment.
Come on, Esther.
Listen, I left the chat. I'm exiting the chat again.
No, don't go. Come back.
No, left again.
Love it. Curtis, please come. Spencer, please come. Oh, Curtis. Anyway, yeah, we will keep across this news. This is mental that this Mr. Trump has done this in the national stage in the manner in which he's done it. Imagine he's just being handed these piles of paper and he's just reading out Daily Mail headlines. Mental.
Yeah.
Mental.
What's happening? But yeah.
Imagine he said, turn the lights down and look over there, President.
Can you imagine?
Look.
They got the projector out and everything.
Oh, man.
But anyway, there isn't much to it. It's just me, I guess, highlighting to the people that this is what happened. We gave the segment to Zelensky, so why not give it to our brother Cyril Ramaphosa as well and talk about what's going on in South Africa, man. There isn't much to go into unless, obviously, what's his name? Spencer Curtis calls up, or one of our brothers and sisters in South Africa calls up to disabuse me of my wrong ideas. You know what I mean? But yeah, just to wrap up, this whole propagation of the white genocide stuff is a myth. Obviously, they point to videos of Julius Malema and the EFF basically chanting the old kill the Boer chant and all that sort of stuff. That's already been decided in court in South Africa. They said that's not a threat. That is not hate speech. That's something that is, I guess, an ode to the times where black people were fighting for freedoms, in their own land, you know what I'm saying, during apartheid. And it's them just somewhat, I guess, remembering the past and also trying to get people to move in a particular direction, because the things that they hoped for when apartheid came to an end still not realized to this day. I don't understand how 8% of the damn population, people who came after the indigenous people of the land, who are exploiting the indigenous people of the land, are still owning 72% of agricultural land. I don't understand how they have access to 70 to 80% of the private wealth, and 80% of the people in the country have access to 4%. It doesn't make sense. And people out here trying to act as though I'm the crazy one. You know what I'm saying? All that. I just don't know what's going on. But anyway, that's what I want to say. Anybody who wants to basically call up, shed some light on certain things, emphasize the points we made, or to disprove them, please call up. But if not, we can move on.
Thank you very much.
Let's get into it. All right, people. Our next set of headlines. Trigger warning on this one. Trigger warning. US singer Chris Brown says he has gone from the cage to the stage after being released on bail in time for his world tour. The 36-year-old was granted bail by Judge Tony Baumgartner at Southwark Crown Court on Wednesday, but must pay a £5 million security fee to the court. Brown didn't appear in person. The musician has been remanded in custody following an initial hearing at Manchester Magistrates Court on Friday, but is now free to leave ahead of his next court appearance in London on the 20th of June. He faces a charge of grievous bodily harm following an alleged assault at a London nightclub called Tape in 2023.
Can we just pause a second, please?
Yeah.
The chat, all the black people that are listening to our voices, the white South Africans have had a field day pressing the down thumb on our video. It's now on 12. I think y'all should protest with your up thumbs.
Yeah, man.
Show them that they will not win.
100%.
Thank you very much. If I don't see any movement, then the white South Africans win.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying?
Continue, Manuel.
Let's not let the minority have the biggest say, even in our damn platform too. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, thank you, Brent. He faces a charge of grievous bodily harm following an alleged assault at a London nightclub called Tape in 2023. In an all caps post on his Instagram story on Wednesday night, he wrote, "From the cage to the stage." Brown's bail conditions allow him to continue traveling for his tour, which has dates in the UK in June and July, but he must not use his passport for any other purposes. Next headline, and Angela Rayner urged Rachel Reeves to consider restricted access to the state pension for recently arrived immigrants. The Deputy Prime Minister also suggested making it harder for immigrants to gain access to universal credit and raising the fee they must pay for using the NHS. The proposals are the latest evidence of a power struggle at the heart of the cabinet, with Ms. Rayner straying beyond her brief in an attempt to change economic policy. The ideas were contained in a secret memo, first reported by The Telegraph on Tuesday evening, which was submitted in mid-March and detailed 8 proposed tax rises. The document was an attempt to convince Ms. Reeves, the Chancellor, to consider alternatives to planned spending cuts. Kemi Badenoch, who's a Conservative leader, leapt on the leaked memo and claimed that Sir Keir Starmer had lost control of his cabinet. And our last headline, scientists have discovered that dementia claims the lives of smarter people sooner. People who spend more years at school and education are likely to deteriorate from the neurodegenerative disease faster. This according to the biggest study of its kind. Scientists have dubbed the phenomenon the cognitive reserve paradigm. Basically, a person's cognitive reserve is their brain's ability to cope and keep working, including in the face of diseases such as dementia and Alzheimer's. It can be bolstered through learning and mental stimulation such as education and doing brain puzzles. But the research found that paradoxically, these patients go downhill faster if they do get a diagnosis. Research published in the BMJ, which analyzed 261 studies, including 36 relating to educational attainment, found that life expectancy after a dementia diagnosis decreased for every extra year of education a person had received. Experts believe it's because people of higher intelligence are more resilient to cognitive decline and able to function for longer without signs or symptoms of the disease onsetting. And that's it for our headlines. Time to pay the bills.
Thank you very much, people, for answering the call. Those likes have shut up. In fact, even one dislike has been removed.
There you go.
Come on.
Come on.
That was you. Look at this.
You know me, I stand on business. And that's what I was going to say. I was going to say I don't like when people don't stand on business. So, I don't like that they dislike the video, but I've lost respect for whoever that is because you could have at least stood on business. Like you could have been like, I know, I'm going to say what I said. Brent's little accent just made you weak in the knees.
I thought you did.
I can't find the dislike button on there. I wouldn't send episodes I would dislike the hell out of. But anyway.
Oh man. All right.
Let's get to the road.
And what happened to Michelle Obama? Kofi, what's happened to Michelle Obama? Hope nothing bad happened to her.
I hope she's okay.
Yeah, I'm sure she's fine. Let me do some Googles.
She put locks back. All
Oh,
right.
happy birthday, Adele.
Big up Adele. Happy birthday, girl. Have a great day. God bless you.
It's confetti. Pew.
Wonderful.
We missed a lot of Wooden Road yesterday, man.
You did?
Yeah.
You missed on Tuesday too because she's the one who's been supporting misogyny. I'm actually surprised y'all didn't find a man to do it.
Wait, you say use that? Wait a minute.
I just think, sometimes when people are silent, you're an enabler.
Gosh, all right.
So there's just that.
All right.
I've got to speak in plural. It hits better when you speak in plural.
Misogyny next week
It's
Wednesday.
dead when you speak in singular.
There's lots happening in the Diddy case, isn't it?
I'll be honest, I'm talking about Diddy today.
All right.
I have a migraine.
You want some water?
No, I've got some water here. I've got a migraine. I've talked about misogyny way too much this week. No, I don't want to take any. I took some yesterday. I'm trying not to I'm just trying not to pump too much in my head.
All right.
But if you know anything, I'd be happy for you to talk about it.
Yeah, I heard about the Punisher.
Tell me about it in a second. Let me do my part first. Let me do my part first. Anyway, I'm going to summarize these, all right?
Please.
Jessie Nelson, she was from Little Mix, and I talked about a while ago. She was expecting twins with her boyfriend, I believe. I'm not sure if it's boyfriend anyway, her partner. But she's giving birth to her daughters, which is really amazing because I remember at the time she shared about complications with the daughters and they were raising awareness for it. So that's really nice that, they've given birth to the children healthily. So the Lord bless them and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Trigger warning on the next one. This is why I'm not let me talk about it today. There's a lot of assault on womanhood, shall we call it. Trigger warning, Sky Jackson, who is a Disney star. I talked about her when she got pregnant and people were being all weird. We are in a place, do you know what? Society makes me tired. I remember when I was younger and the aunties at the time used to just do speeches about, don't have kids out of wedlock. Mind you, they did, but don't have kids out of wedlock. Make sure you marry a man and make sure, if your man does this, you just stay with him anyway, you stick with him, you do this and you do that, all that kind of nonsense advice. We have come full circle to the point where young people who hated to hear these things when they were younger are now basically doing the same thing because these young women get pregnant. I say young women, they're young because they're not flipping 85 years old, but these young women get pregnant and then you guys think that it's a great time to go online and insult them for not being married to the person that they're pregnant with. Mind you, there's hella pregnant women in marriages who are basically single mothers and single parents and single whatever is going on there. So yeah, there's just this whole trend that's not going on. But then there's a new trend that I never thought I'd live to see. But I guess there's nothing new under the sun. Is, women coming out to say that they're being abused by men, their partners or whatever they've done. And then these women say, but then, you should have opened your eyes. Well done. Good job, everybody. You're all doing very well. Anyway, Sky Jackson has filed a restraining order against her child's father, DeAndre Bergen. That guy looks like Sideshow Bob from The Simpsons. Or like a scary version. I'm not criticizing her, but I don't even know how she was able to lay down with him in the first place. He looks like a jump scare.
What's
I
his
couldn't
name?
wake up to that. DeAndre Bergen. I don't know what he does. Remember they tried to say Halle Bailey just wanted clout and whatnot from DDG. Maybe Sky as well, who is obviously the biggest star that we know, wants clout from this interesting looking fella. But anyway, she basically filed a restraining order against him. Physical abuse and all that stuff. She said that about how he's, even while she was pregnant, allegedly, he assaulted her, he's dragged her, he's hit her head on things. It's basically domestic violence. And she's filed a restraining order against him. Personally, I am proud of her. I like that we are living in a world, despite all the foolishness and despite all the pick-me women who are an embarrassment to the gender, I like that we are living in a world where women can actually, like, they have rights enough to be able to file against abuse and all that stuff and speak up about it publicly and get the support from the women who are able to support them. I'm here for that. So here to her and any other woman who needs to file a restraining order and get away from the scary men that are in their lives. What's this for? Please do. Anyways, so love and light to her. She's also submitted a lot of evidence and stuff. And yeah, I reckon she'll probably get it, to be fair. Because she also just had a baby. But yeah, obviously people are talking about, Hattie just did it and blah, 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 blah. But I'm here for it. I think I just love that I'm part of this era where women are able to speak up for themselves. I think I don't know what would have been of me if I was back in the day where women didn't have rights and stuff. I would have been like Harriet Tubman. I would have been like the black people who wanted freedom and then were being snitched on by the ones who were too scared for freedom. Like, that would have driven me absolutely insane. So I'm proud of her for doing that, and I hope that things get better for her. She can stay safe and stuff. So there's that. Finally, you guys are talking online so much that Megan Thee Stallion has had to actually address people directly, which she hasn't done really since the government took Tory to court. I don't believe she did. She did in her music, but she never directly said anything. But yeah, so anyway, she posted online, I'm sure it was Instagram, and she said, at what point are y'all gonna stop making me have to relive being shot by Tory? At what point are Tory and your fans gonna stop lying? Like, how much is a check to keep harassing me? Why is this happening every day? 1 minute him/y'all said I was never shot. Now y'all are saying, now you're letting him play in you guys' face again and say that I was shot, but it wasn't by him. Oh, okay. She says, I'm sick of this shit. Leave me the F alone. He ain't dare get on the stand and deny he shot me. And that was his choice because he knows he did that shit. I don't give a fuck about a blog or a bot. Why in the F would me, Megan Thee Stallion, have to lie on this MF about shooting me? How are y'all mad at the person that got shot? Facts are facts. He did it. It was proven in court. F the hate campaign on the internet. Tory, you shot me. 2 exclamation points. Ain't no new effing evidence. Y'all been saying the same shit for years. Tory, please leave me alone. You're a fucking demon. I'm off this I'm off this silly ass internet shit. Bye. This actually happened like 5 years ago, no? At this point, I think it was 4 years ago. What year are we in? 2025?
Shit.
It was like 4. It was during COVID.
I thought it was during...
It was during lockdown.
I thought it was during the time we were on the show.
No.
Wow.
I don't think so.
You're probably right. I don't know. I don't think it was.
It might be 2021 or something. It was a while ago. But anyway, I feel bad for her, man. And honestly, like, I just really wish I had a mum around because it's very horrible. Because also, as if there's not enough pathetic men in this world, there's like a petition going around to pardon Tory. How are you going to pardon a man who was an immigrant with a prior who was caught with a weapon, with a firearm? What do you mean pardon him? Hella men in there who actually did not commit crimes, who were set up by the police, and there's no pardons for that. I'm a bit shocked to some of the people that signed these pardons, maybe because I don't know anything about them. Actually, I'm really shocked about Ty Dolla $ign. I thought Ty Dolla $ign was a man with sense. But then maybe I just like his music and I just assumed he has sense. I've never really known anything personal about the man. He signed it. Drake signed it. That's not shocking. He's a wet wipe, so nah, it's not shocking. Kanye West signed it. He's a Nazi, so it's not shocking. Amber Rose signed it. She's a pick me / Trump supporter / I don't really have an identity anymore / the biggest embarrassment to happen since women existed. So not shocked by that. Trippie Redd, don't know who the hell that is. So that's all right. Kodak Black, he looks like what he goes through. So that's not really shocking. Popcorn. Somehow I thought Popcorn had some sense because he sings love songs. But like we discovered on Tuesday, just because you like women and you lay with them don't mean you like them. So Popcorn, I think that was a bit shocking, but fair enough. Joyner Lucas. Heard his name. Don't know much about him, but I'm sure I've heard some toxic mess around his name before anyway. So that is what it is. A Boogie with the Hoodie. What does he even sing? I think I know one song from when I was like in uni back in 2014. So some of these people, I'm not really shocked that you've done that. It speaks to pathetic behavior. So of course they're going to do all of that stuff. So yeah, that's just another day. But I'm glad that she said that. And she actually, like she said it in her own words. Because I think there's just been too many speculations and stuff. And it was nice because some people then created a petition. Someone said since we're doing petitions for everything, let's just put a petition out and have people who support Megan Thee Stallion. And I promise you, if you go on there, you see my name on the petition. You know when you can tick whether they hide your name or they show it? I said show it. If I could have said show it 4K 5 times, I would have ticked that too. My name's on the petition. If it comes by you, sign it. Anyway, still on the case of men acting damn fool. Justin Bieber. Something I was talking about him the other day. He's going through things still. But Justin Bieber is married to Hailey Bieber, who we said the other day is it Stephen?
Yeah, Baldwin. Stephen
Baldwin's child, offspring, right? She is on the cover of Vogue. Personally, I couldn't tell you what Hailey Bieber does. I couldn't tell you. I think she's one of the fashion girlies like Kendall Jenner. There's like that whole, I think she might be a model. I don't know. She's that era of like white girls that just do nice white things, I guess. Anyway, she's on the cover of Vogue, which I think is great. I think that's a nice, I think that's nice. I think that's very, very lovely and very wholesome or whatever else. Her husband decides that he's going to, what the hell is this original caption I'm looking for? Sorry, y'all. Her husband decides that he's going to, I'm sure I screenshot this. Hold on, maybe it's on my phone. Her husband decides that he's going to congratulate her. And he decides to congratulate her in a way, there it is now. He decides that the best way to congratulate his wife was to embarrass her. There is currently a humiliation kink going on amongst men who hate their wives, but don't want to admit that they hate their wives, so they just find creative ways to say that they hate their wives. Listen to this congratulatory message, right? He says, he's posted a picture of his wife on cover of Vogue, and he says, "Yo, this reminds me when Hailey and I got into a huge fight. I told Hales that she would never be on the cover of Vogue. Yikes, I know, so mean. For some reason, because I felt so disrespected, I thought I gotta get even. I think as we mature, we realize that we're not helping anything by getting even. We're honestly just prolonging what we really want, which is intimacy and connection. So baby, you already know, but forgive me for saying you wouldn't get a Vogue cover, because clearly I was sadly mistaken." Clearly, I was sadly mistaken. You know, people just say things, they don't know what it actually means. You were sadly mistaken. Anyway, a great congratulations would have been nice. Do you know what's so mad? Do you know how you know that what you said is so crazy? Because even Kim Kardashian originally liked the post, I guess when she saw the picture, then she read the caption and sis took her like back. Why don't you just say congratulations? Why do we have to know what's going on? Like, why do we need to know what's going on in the bedroom, in the kind of arguments you guys have? And of course, there's always going to be people that are like, oh my gosh, it's nice to be able to show what the reality of marriage is. That's only if you marry people that you hate. Anyway, he then decides that he was getting cooked online, rightfully so. He decides then that he's going to change the caption. He changed the caption. Remember, again, this is still a post that's meant to congratulate his wife. He changed the caption to a shrug, a point, a love heart, and like a happy crying emoji. The guy's a sicko. The guy's a sicko. He could have just said, congratulations, dear. Congratulations, honey. Congratulations at Haley. You could have just said congratulations. One word would have been fine. Anyway. Don't be with men that hate your guts. And they won't outrightly tell you they hate your guts. It's in the little and subtle things that they do that you know they hate your guts. If a man walks ahead of you, he hates your guts. If a man, when you're walking with a man and you are standing where the traffic is, where you could easily trip and a truck could hit you, he hates your guts. It's in the little things. It's the hell of videos on these things. It's little, very tiny things. Anyway, the girl spot. The girl spot that is been founded by Natalie. Can't remember her last name. I think it's Barnett or Burnett. I don't know if I'm making that up. But Natalie, anyway. Big up Natalie.
Is it called a G spot?
The girl spot. You can call it G spot, you can call it girl
It's so
spot.
funny because I heard it yesterday.
What, the
And
G
I'm
spot?
thinking, that's a good name.
What, the G spot?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it stays in your mind. And then when you're like, oh my gosh, G, and it's like, yeah, girl spot. And you know, like men want to go wherever the G spot is, but they're not allowed.
But not
It's
allowed.
like, no.
Don't know where to find it.
No, well, there's that too.
They
But
gave me
not
the
today.
directions.
Not today. But yeah, so the girl spot. So basically, she's obviously it's open now. I think they did a launch. I'm not sure if it's actually open now. I don't think it is actually. But people are basically people who have.
That's what I heard.
You'll make me tired,
I
huh?
don't like pink.
Yeah, who was it? Girls were saying they don't
One
like
of the
pink.
comments was like, oh, there's too much pink going on.
Don't go there. Don't go there. Pure Gym is full of black. Go there. Like, go there.
Gym
Or
group is
better
blue,
still,
green. Go there.
Valentine is green. Go there. Better still, work out in your home where you've put the color that you like.
Straight.
And that's what's just so annoying sometimes. It's just like, I don't know. This girl's been criticized from the beginning, criticized by people that were never going to go there, that the place had nothing to do for, like, none of your business. Now people are basically criticizing that it's £120 a membership. But if it's not in your budget, if it's not for you, if you do not plan to go there, what difference does it make to your wallet? What difference does it make to your purse? What difference does it make to you? Oh my goodness, it's so much money. Mind you, when we look and we investigate, these are even people that go to the gym. You don't even know where you couldn't tell me where your nearest gym is. Never been to a gym, don't even know how to enter your local one. But here you are saying, oh my gosh, £120. It's way too much. It's way too much. People pay different amounts for their gyms. My gym is expensive. Put that out there. My gym is expensive. And it's expensive and it's got like a spa and everything. I don't use that because I hate packing. I'm true to everything. I hate packing to the airport. I hate packing for sleepovers, and I hate packing to the gym. Even though they can give me towels there. I remember that the other day. I thought actually maybe I should start making more of it. I don't use my gym spa. I really should. I want to, but the idea of having to pack my gym bag, then unpack it, oh my gosh, stresses me out. However, I'm okay paying the amount of money I pay, knowing that I get what I get from it. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And I've been to different gyms. I've been to like gyms that are not that expensive. I've been to a Pure Gym, but I've also been to a Nuffield. I've been to a Bannatyne. It's okay. It's in my budget. And if I go and visit, I went to visit David Lloyd. That's my next
serious?
purchase. David Lloyd, I could spend my whole day there.
Serious?
It's a banging, I'll pack that bag. It's a banging gym. It's a banging
What
gym.
has it got there that is better than?
Brent has everything.
What does it mean?
It's got a bar.
Does it have Jello Price?
Let me see. I said it's David Lloyd. He says it's Femi Lloyd. Let me see.
He has a
They have everything. They've got everything. They've got,
after you finish.
they've got like 5 different types of like steam rooms and saunas. Like one is like Himalayan salt. The other one's like this kind of like citrus kind of vibe. Oh my gosh. When I went for the tour, they've got a tennis court there. Like it's massive.
So wait. Why did you take the tour?
Because I thought, I might join here.
So you were actually tempted. So you're
Absolutely.
let me
Absolutely. I was gonna make cuts.
Let me make a day of this.
I was gonna make cuts. This is before the Silvertown and Blackwall Tunnel thing. You know, I pay to leave here every day. I can't believe that.
We need to change that immediately, Esther. You need to get some money in your pocket each time you come in.
I'm sending you the invoice. Man, send me to get some money. What month is this? May?
This is crazy.
It comes out of my account because unfortunately I've got direct debit. So I'm going to send you the invoice.
Give us a couple of months.
Sorry?
Give us a couple of months. Because this is bonkers.
So when we...
Yeah.
It's not going to be
This is it.
So
Yeah.
anyway, Brent, that gym was lovely. Like I don't even have kids, but I could have babysat Iman's daughter just to drop her in the creche because it looked so lovely in there. She would have had a blast. They were like in the summer they've got like outdoor pools and stuff.
Yeah.
But they got a bar.
Outdoor pools.
Yeah.
So they even have outdoor pools.
Brent, they got outdoor pool, outdoor jacuzzi. You know that thing in the hole that Gina went to when she went to was Scandinavia? Where's that company she went to? Yeah. One of those as well.
Wow.
They've got everything. I told you they've got their spa alone, but I do think it's more of a spa thing. That's why I didn't. To be fair, because I know I could have made cuts if I wanted to.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't enjoy it because I feel like it's more a wellness. The kind of classes I wanted to do, they didn't have them.
Yeah.
So I was like, like it's not. But I think when I'm up by the grace of God, it could be something I do anyway. But it was lovely. It was absolutely great. Oh yeah, no. I think why I drew the line as well was I have to pay for Reformer Pilates. They charge like £200 and some a month, right? Let's just say £200 a month, and I have to pay £10 for a Reformer class. BFFR.
What's
that
a
should be included.
class?
So Reformer is like Pilates with a machine, basically.
Sorry, I actually learned that the other day. Somebody told me, and sometimes I've seen videos of like wooden stuff, and then you put okay.
It's lit. But my current gym, the reason why I joined my current gym, to be fair, I get a discount on my health insurance. To be fair, my current gym.
Yeah.
Because if I was paying the full price,
Yeah.
I'd be throwing up every time I go in there. But anyway, so my gym includes Reformer Pilates.
How much of a discount do you get from your current?
50%.
That is a big jump.
I guess how much I pay monthly?
70.
81.
Crazy.
Serious?
How do you put your head
So
up? This is how you put your head up. And I get 50%
And you don't use
discount.
everything there?
I don't use the
You
spa
don't
and
sleep
stuff.
there?
I sure didn't. It's nice there. And I get
Can
free.
you
I get a
borrow
free
me-
thing every month. Huh?
Can you borrow me a tenner?
Yeah, go on. Can I borrow a tenner?
Can you borrow me a tenner?
Let me see, man. Can you borrow me some more shares? But again, but the reason why I don't mind doing that because I enjoy being at the gym. Do you know what I mean? Like the gym for me is a very important part of my lifestyle. I don't go out much. I don't do like I can afford to do that. So the thing with back to the G spot, the girl spot, is that people who prioritize the gym in that way can afford gym memberships are not cheap. That's the honest truth. Even Pure Gym and them. I remember when I Pure Gym back in the day, it's like £12 a month. Now I'm sure people are looking at £30 a month.
I just got one from Shoreditch and it's 19.
There you go.
But I haven't been there.
But that's
yet.
your location,
I
though.
don't know if it's a hole in the wall.
Because when I went to the
19, bro.
I don't know yet. I don't know yet.
19 was
But I
crazy.
think I'm gonna I'm fine with the whole.
You're gonna have to bring your own weights, bring your own everything. They just provide you a venue.
I have to bring your own.
They just provide you a gym vibe. But I remember when I lived in Orpington, that one was $24.99. The Pure Gym. So again, do you know what I mean? Like gyms just cost whatever. But people who, if that's something that's important to you, then fair enough.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't buy clothes. I wouldn't buy an ordinary top and stuff for £81 that I paid gym for.
Yeah.
Because that's not where, like, I don't see why I should do that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm just saying? People have different things that they're interested in.
Yeah.
So why are you criticizing something that you're not going to spend money on? To buy £120 is,
It's too pink.
it's not yours.
Like,
If
what
it's, do you know what do you mean it's too pink?
What do you mean it's too pink? What
Don't
do you
go.
mean? Why
Don't
you,
go.
Why are you
I
using
personally,
your tweet
actually, let me never say.
allocation to type that?
There's a certain shop I don't shop from that often unless they've got something particularly that I really want. Why? Because it's too green in there.
So you
So I just don't go there.
understand?
I don't go there. No. I don't come online and criticize the color scheme.
Right.
I just don't go there.
What do you mean it's too green? What do you mean? As in
It's
it's too
just
much
like
green
a
colour?
theme, just green everywhere. Green. It's very loud. It's not like a nice green. It's like a limeish Leon kind of green. I don't know. It's not nice for me personally. But anyway, just don't go there. But anyway, she did a video as she does because you guys just keep making this girl make videos to address things. And she basically just said that she doesn't understand. She said it's the point that she's getting criticism also from black women. But again, I've already said the pick-me's, you guys are a danger, absolute danger to society. I genuinely, when I say that, I genuinely believe that, I think pick-me's are very, very dangerous to society. I think it's one thing for misogyny to be what misogyny is, and I think that it's another thing for you as a woman to not agree with anti-misogyny views, but I think that you should at least be able to sit down and understand why women have come up and said, actually, I don't want to be miserable in that way. Even though you deep down are miserable, but you just can't bring yourself to admit it. That's why I think they're very dangerous people. I can't stand to pick me. Don't want pick me around me. Not saying to pick me. I will never. No. Pick me, be gone. Anyways, she said it was disappointing that she's also getting criticism from black women and black men as well. Obviously, she's black, so she's gonna care about that. About the gym prices, but she's also saying that let's change conversations from something is too expensive to it's not in my budget right now, and that's okay. That's okay.
Doesn't she offer bare workshops and
she does, but
self-defense classes?
She does, but people are saying, oh yeah, but I pay this amount of money in Nuffield and I have a spa and da 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 da. Okay, but she doesn't have a spa. But again, the women who are uncomfortable in men's spaces wouldn't mind paying that to be in just a woman's space. If I was uncomfortable in a unisex gym, is that right? Unisex gym or mixed sex gym? I wouldn't mind paying £120 to be at the girl spot. I wouldn't mind, because what it is I desire, they provide it, and that's okay. There's things I pay money for, and some people wouldn't. But it's because it's important for me and not you. So she's gonna do well. By the grace of God, she's gonna be successful. And she said, you know what, people can say whatever they want to say, but she said, watch, the girl spot will be so global that it will be at your front door that you can never ignore it. And absolutely, like, what is the problem? Give this girl space and time to grow. I don't understand it. People are weird. The internet is weird. Social media is weird. You're just sick. Anyway, that's what's happening. But I'm glad that she said that there and she addressed it. But I pray that she gets a lot of people. I mean, she had people on the wait list. So hopefully, there's no way people thought that she's going to build all that gym with her own money and everything. And it's going to be like, what, £25? BFFR. Also, paying that amount of money for the gym, I tell you one thing, it will make you go to the gym. I've been to the gym once this week, and I don't plan to go today. I'll probably go tomorrow. But I'm feeling it. But anyway, that's it. All the best, everybody.
Thank you very much.
What are you going to say about Diddy?
I think there were dildos showed in court yesterday.
Dildos?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I heard that they showed his the thing that they got from his house and stuff.
Yeah.
And Kid Cudi's gonna testify today.
That's serious. Oh, what is violent?
About his car. I said, what about the car? I said, what about it? I got the sticker. I don't think he's gonna get away with it. Based on the thing, they also had a psychologist yesterday, and the psychologist explained how abuse works.
Yeah.
And
why women stay and why
exactly.
they say the things they say when it is that
exactly
they're reading these messages back and forth and whatnot. Exactly.
So I don't think he's gonna get away with it. And I also think the fact that it's going this far, I don't think he's gonna get away with it.
Yeah.
This is not like Young Thug situation.
I watched a video, I think a channel called Abba and Preach, something like that. And he was breaking down, one of the guys was breaking down what they're actually going at him for. And he believes they've already proven that without a shadow of a doubt. And if if the jury, even if just one of them say no, be like, that's fine. If this is a mistrial, we'll come back and we'll try you again. But I found it interesting that the stuff that we're talking about and focusing on, like the abuse and stuff, that isn't
the main thing.
Yeah, the main thing.
I do think as well, though, you know, like you see how like we keep talking about the people are desensitized to abuse, and I'm talking about the black community I'm familiar with, and it's about them. But how like the black community, when it comes to like abuse, always like, oh yeah, but what did she do? Or oh, we can't believe it, blah blah. I think the reason why is because the black community believes in hitting children as discipline. I think that's it. So people are not able to. I think people are just desensitized. I think some of you got here in your head a bit too many times. Your brain's not functioning right. I think I just don't think, because I can't understand it sometimes. Like I can't understand how we'll hear a case and whatever else, and then people are like, yeah, but she liked it, or yeah, but she got money for it. Like, how do you hear something that someone's been through? And I also think maybe like the lack of success perhaps within the community. So it makes people think that, you know what, maybe if this happened to me and someone offered me $10 million, yeah, I could take that. As if that cancels out the trauma that you went through. These times, some little girl said she didn't like you back in year 3, and you've just become a menace to society ever since. And somehow you think that you could go through that deep levels of abuse and a bit of money. I think from a broken and broke mindset. I feel like Oprah when I said that. She's not a good person to quote though, to be fair.
You say Oprah?
I did say Oprah. But I said it and I thought, ugh, not her.
What's up, brother?
I don't have the capacity today.
Thank you very much.
Oprah's done a lot.
Is there People's Journal?
Yeah, let me do
All
that.
right.
That's easy, man.
What happens if Michelle Obama?
Apparently she said something, a comment that she made saying that if she was single, she would want to spend a night with, I'm paraphrasing,
Yeah.
she wants to spend a night with the CEO of Airbnb.
Who's that?
That's a white man. I think that's the most important
What's wrong with
part
that?
of it. No, I think that's what Kofi was talking about.
Mm.
But basically, I think it's a case where you're married right now and you're going to be talking on the airways where it's going to go all over the place. That if you were single, you would spend a night with this man who was opposite you, talking to you, and your husband is still alive.
To be fair, Kofi being a messenger is not great. Ain't great, so fair enough.
Yeah.
Sounds like the kind of things we worry about.
I mean, I wouldn't disrespect my wife like that.
Absolutely not. But
Yeah.
it's just interesting. That's where Kofi draws the line.
Shut down coffee.
Don't shut him out. Lock him away. Ban him. Why people keep playing with me?
I don't have
Oh my days.
I want fruits.
Proof of what?
What?
Did you say proof?
Fruits.
Oh,
You say fruits or proof?
Fruit.
I got fruits in my bag. I'm good. I'm not hungry. I had a banana this morning. I got a banana this morning.
Right.
I got a pink lady apple, the best apple. Ban him. That should be a soundboard.
all right, people. Welcome to the People's Journal. I'll give you the news from an economics point of view. All right, so there ain't much to talk about. I just wanted to mention that government borrowing is higher than expected in April, man. So this is apparently the 4th highest April borrowing figure since monthly records even began. So this goes back to 1993. Yeah, and obviously, for those who don't know, borrowing is basically the difference between spending and the tax income, basically, right? And it was at £20.2 billion, but it's up 1 billion from April last year. Just wanted to mention that just to create the overall, I guess, picture of what's happening right now. Inflation as well now. On top of that, right, inflation has gone up. Now, remember, I believe it was a few weeks ago, we were talking about inflation going down, but them basically saying, listen, be careful now. Remember, this is because of X, Y, Z, because of, the changes in April, basically, and that things will change going forward. Well, UK inflation has surged to 3.5% in April, which is the highest in over a year, right? So this has obviously been driven by the increased energy, water, and service costs, and things of that nature. Right, all of these things, basically, the wage increases as well, currently outpace inflation for many workers. Persistent price pressures in services and potential impact from the government's policies suggest that further inflation is coming, basically, in the coming months. There's not much else to tell you about that, to be fair. Obviously, we got the reduction in the base rate at the beginning of this month, I believe. Yeah. But again, this is the reason why the Bank of England kind of holding off from reducing it further or reducing it by more percentage points because of this. They kind of anticipate this, like I mentioned about a week or so ago. Also, we did mention this in the headlines, but Keir Starmer has announced a U-turn on the winter fuel payment cuts. I believe this was a few months back in Rachel Reeves' budget. I mentioned how 10 million pensioners or more than 10 million pensioners will lose out on these winter fuel payments, right? Which is worth up to £300. Obviously, everyone's basically upset about that. They've been talking and applying pressure to Keir Starmer, so now he's U-turned on it. He hasn't given specifics on what will change, but he has basically just said we're going to adjust the threshold so that more people will have access to it. This does not mean that everybody who had access before, the 10 million the plus who are missing out on it now, will have access. It just means that some of the 10 million will gain access again. But obviously, when we get more information, we'll let you guys know. And the last thing I wanted to mention is Nike. They're looking to hike prices. At least this is what the reports are saying, that they're going to hike prices. Why? Because they're facing tariff uncertainty. So for those who care about crepes so much, you know what I mean, this is going to affect you, man. Especially if you're like one of those collectors. I believe on the weekend, the Jordan 4s, the white cements are going to be getting released, isn't it? So I think the price for that is already like cemented at like I think like 190 or something like that. But this basically is just a sign of things to come in it. As you guys know, over the years, crepes has just been getting more and more expensive, innit? Before, Air Max 95s, they were called 110s for a reason. Now, I don't think you can get them for less than 180, 170 pound. So it is what it is. Nike is basically just making us aware that prices may go up from the 1st of June. And that is pretty much it for
Headlines and think please.
yeah.
Okay.
And that's it for the People's Journal.
Time to get into headlines.
Let's go into the headlines. All right, people. So Keir Starmer is due to sign a deal handing the Chagos Islands to Mauritius on Thursday. So this headline was obviously prepared, yeah. But whilst we were recording, there has been a change. And basically, what they're saying is that the deal has been paused by a last-minute legal action. The government has temporarily been banned from concluding talks, people, on Chagos Islands deal by a last-minute injunction by a High Court judge. And this happened at 2:25 in the morning. Basically, Justice Goose granted interim relief to two Chagosian women who had brought a case against the Foreign Office. And the Prime Minister has basically been expected to attend a virtual signing ceremony with representatives of the Mauritian government on Thursday morning. This morning, the agreement would see the UK hand over the islands back to Mauritius, but still allow the UK and the US to continue using it as a military base, basically. You know what I'm saying? Because it's located on the Pacific Ocean archipelago. And it's been there, well, at least they're saying it will be the case that they'll be able to use it as a bloody military base for an initial period of 99 years. Long story short, all of this stuff has been stopped in it because, of what's happened with the two women who have brought a case against the Foreign Office. Next headline. Trigger warning, people. Big trigger warning on this one, man. At least 6 people, including 4 children, were killed when a suicide car bomber struck a school bus in southwestern Pakistan on Wednesday. Officials said that some 38 people were wounded in what is the latest attack in a tense southwestern Balochistan province. There are fears that the death toll may rise as several children were said to be in critical condition. A local deputy commissioner by the name of Yasir Iqbal said that the attack took place on the outskirts of Kudza as the bus transported them to their military-run school in the city. And our last headline, the final destination for 8 deportees who were flown out of the US remains unknown. It had been reported that the migrants, who are of 6 different nationalities, were heading to South Sudan, which is a country that once again appears to be in danger of collapsing into a civil war. Diabolical, but obviously we'll speak about that at an appropriate time. And apparently the Department of Homeland Security spokesperson, Tricia McLaughlin, she said that these are the only 8 people on the flight. Because of safety and operational security, we cannot tell you what the final destination will be for these individuals. On Tuesday, the US District Judge, Brian Murphy, said that they should be allowed to challenge their deportation to third countries. He said that the Trump administration must retain custody and control of them to ensure the practical feasibility of return if he finds such removals were unlawful. And that's it for headlines. Time to pay the bills, and let's get into the reaction. All right, people, welcome to the reaction. I think the only thing to talk about is that Tottenham beat Man United, man. They did it yesterday, 1-0. And they take home the Europa League trophy, man. They've secured their first trophy in 17 years. Brennan Johnson's first half goal, albeit a slightly fortuitous one, is what they're saying, proved to be the winner for Spurs. Man United dominated the second half but were unable to equalise despite several clear-cut chances. The victory marks Tottenham's first European trophy since 1984 and qualifies them for next season's Champions League. The manager, Mr. What's his name, man? Postecoglou fulfilled his pre-season prediction of winning the trophy in his second season with the club. There's a link that I want you to play, Brent. So quick. It's in the title of the thingy. And basically, the man's basically sending shots, man. Sky Sports said this is one of the coldest lands since Wenger. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously Wenger was the architect.
Am I going to answer the question, or you're going to keep asking them? Absolutely. And I think I'll correct myself. I don't usually win things. I always win things. I'm thinking you. Nothing's strange. Am I going to answer the question, or you're going to keep asking them? Absolutely. And I think I'll correct myself. I don't usually win things. I always win things. I'm thinking you. Nothing's strange.
That's it. So yeah, man, big up Tottenham. They did it.
Well done, Star Crew. Well done.
But yeah, so go on.
I saved a tweet. Teams that Tottenham beat during their campaign: Karabag, Ferencvaros, Elfsborg, Hoffenheim, Alkmaar, Frankfurt, Border Glimt.
Are these real?
They're real teams, yeah.
Elite teams.
And United.
How are they elite if I've never heard of them? I thought you were making up words.
Shout out Star Crew. This is your day, bro.
But
This is your day, bro.
You can only be used in funny, you know, man.
This is it, man. This is it.
Hey, Brent, you know the other day...
Ange in. Ange in, bro.
Yo, you know the other day when you're talking about how they close the relegation? I thought you was doing what you normally do, innit? Just say
But make yourself up.
they're around the area.
No, United and Spurs just...
Yo, I'm looking at it right now, Brent. They are 16th and 17th. This is diabolical. Diabolical.
But they got a trophy, bro. They got a trophy, bro.
Man, all they did was compete this season, man. these guys are terrible.
All they need to turn up.
You know
All they need to turn up with them teams. Even United, they just need to turn up.
Oh my days. Nah, man.
Shout out Star Crow, bro. Same again next year, yeah?
100%.
Same again next year, bro.
Nah, man.
Nah, but enjoy that. Obviously, we don't have a trophy, so hold that, Arsenal fans. Hold that. All right.
Nah, you can't be happy with 17th, man. With the trophy.
It's what always find this level, bro.
Oh, God.
Hold that. All right, wrap up.
All right, people. It's been a good show. A nice and something show.
Short and quick, mate.
There we go. You know what I mean?
If y'all do this tomorrow, I might actually show up. I gotta leave early. Oh dear.
Yes, we talked about a few things. The UK has called for investigation after IDF fired warning shots as British diplomats travelled through West Bank. But respectfully, and I'm not trying to start anything, I think this investigation will be put on hold because of what's happened in Washington. You know what I'm saying? Everything that we heard yesterday as well about, you know, the UK trying to facilitate talks about the Palestinian state, this will be put on hold because of what's happened today. It's a damn shame. Starmer has announced a U-turn and winter fuel payment cuts, and also Trump surprises the South African leader in the Oval Office, man, with genocide, so-called genocide evidence, including video and photos. We spoke about Chris Brown being released on bail, but the guy has to pay £5 million for security fee. Rayna, she's called for a curb on migrant benefits, man. She's urged her Chancellor, Rachel Reeves, to consider restricting access to the state pension for recently arrived immigrants. And also, we found out that dementia hits clever people harder. Also, spoke about the UK looking to sign a Chagos deal with Mauritius, but that's been put on temporary hold. And unfortunately, we reported about at least 6 people who were killed in a suicide bomb attack on a school bus in Pakistan, man. All this nonsense needs to stop, man. People need to value life. And of course, we talk about Tottenham Hotspurs winning the Europa League. You know what I'm saying? And congratulations to them, man, because 17th place would have been hard to swallow. But at least you've got a trophy. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, big up you guys. Man,
The
United,
thing is, they might still get rid of their manager, you know.
nah,
Crazy.
nah.
How dare you get rid of a manager that
Always
got
wins.
you a trophy after 17 years?
Yeah,
I should
you know
say
what I mean?
a European trophy after 17 years. You need to keep that man.
Yep.
He said,
He always wins.
after
what I'm
2 seasons, I always bring back a trophy.
You don't want to leave.
Up until that last moment.
You don't
People
wanna
were still
leave.
calling him clown.
You know what I mean?
People were still calling him a clown. He had the last laugh. Keep him. Give him 5 more years.
Yes.
5 more years. Same
Come
with
on.
Amarin, yeah. Keep that man in that job.
Yeah, man.
And your goalkeeper, Onana. Mark said he was the best in the. Well, he didn't say he was the best. He was the second best. He said he was the second best in the league. Keep that guy between the sticks.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, congratulations, Star Crew. I only have love for you, seen as your TDA community member, and I genuinely have joy for you winning this. Well done, Bodo Clip. Yeah.
What language was that?
That was the name of the team.
What's the team called?
Bodo Clip.
That's the team that won.
That's the team they beat before they played United. United.
Oh.
Yeah, you know those teams where the players are Uber drivers and they work in IKEA on the
community.
weekend.
They should say, hey, we need people. Then all right then.
Star Crew, don't mind us. You enjoy this day. Enjoy the entire year, in fact. Maybe 3 years. Enjoy it. But keep Ange in. Keep Ange in. All right. Later, people.
Bye.
Peace.